Hello guys, welcome to my channel. For those who are new and for those who are old, welcome back. My name is Kinga Tanajewska. I've been traveling around the world for 5 years and at the moment my bike is being shipped from South Africa to Canada, and I had this 2 months break, so I flew into Australia to test this bike. So recently I've taken Husqvarna Norden 901 for a little trip across New South Wales and Victoria. I've done about 5,000 kilometers on it, and I just want to share my thoughts with you on what I think about this bike from, traveler's point of view. I got a lot of questions from you guys what I think about this bike. Well, I love it. So I'm going to tell you the pros and cons about this bike. Oh no, the bird pooed on it. I have to clean it. So it's 900cc parallel twin, 217 kilograms of wet weight, 105 horsepower. Very, very quick and responsive bike. Very well balanced. Because this is the tank, right? So there is 19 liters of tank, which gives you, on average, the way I'm riding, so touring, on-road, off-road, around 400 kilometers range. So I reckon it's pretty impressive. Yes, you don't have to fill up too often, which is fantastic for long distance traveling. And what else we have here? I was a little bit worried about the position, right? So I'm quite tall, I'm 179 centimeters tall, and I've got quite long legs. So when I first time sat on this bike and put my legs on the pegs, you see like this angle of my knee, and I was a little bit worried that my legs are a little bit too bent for the long distance, that I will have maybe knee pain or that sort of stuff, because I'm used to riding on a bike where my sort of degree, the way I'm sitting, is 90 degrees. But actually it's a very, very comfortable position, and the seat is super comfortable. I'm not sure if they call it a comfort seat, but definitely the seat is quite wide. You don't get so bummed. Nicely shaped. You can travel on this bike for long distance and being super comfortable. It's been raining, so I need to wipe it. Oh, that's better. Right, okay, that'll do. So this is the whole control center. This bike is super intelligent, and again, I'm used to riding a bike that is quite old and very basic, so I'm very impressed with the technology on the modern bikes these days. So we've got a few modes here. Street mode, which is designed for the street, and you've got the full 105 horsepower on it. Then we have rain mode. Excellent in the rain, and I use this mode a lot in the rain because majority of the time it was raining every day. So the power decreases to about 82 horsepower, which makes the throttle very smooth and makes the ride so much safer on wet surface. Then you have off-road mode, and then we have Explorer, and in this mode it's an excellent mode when you're going off-road and you would like to adjust your traction control and the level of sleeping. So you can play around with this mode. It's a brilliant one for people who go hard on off-road. I was a little bit worried when I got on this bike that the fairing is not high enough. But actually, even going at high speed on a highway, well, with my height and my helmet, I actually felt quite comfortable. And you can go at high speed and you don't even feel you're going at high speed. This bike just performs so well. So for me, that's not a worry. And actually, if you're traveling off-road, you want your screen to be lower because you never know when you're going to go above the handle. So the lower screen makes you safer during the possible crash. So yeah, I don't mind that short screen. And the LED lights are standard. I'll show you. You've got like the lights on the side as well. You are so visible on the road. Absolutely love the light. Damn it, it's raining. I have to hurry up. And also the handguards are coming standard, so that's very nice and handy. You can protect your hands from the tree branches, you know what I mean. You know what they're for. Right, and what I really need to mention, and I'm very impressed with this design, and I don't know if that's to do with my height and my body position, but the fairing is designed so well because in the rain my legs and boots never get wet, and I'm traveling like this, so normally I would get water going to my boots, but on this bike, literally when I'm, of course, if I'm you have to keep moving. If you're in town and the rain drops on you like from the top, you're gonna get wet. But if you keep moving, the fairing protects your legs from the rain and boots. Excellent. Okay, ready? You're ready. You're recording, hey? I think it's set up. Yeah. Another great trick with the seat, it's adjustable. You can raise it for about 1 inch. For people with long legs, you can go 1 inch up. If you prefer it to have it lower, you can lower it down. Excellent. So this bike definitely is a perfect bike for touring, for long distance traveling, because it's so comfortable, and really, like, you can enjoy it on the gravel roads, you can enjoy it off-road as well. Maybe not too extreme, but for long distance traveling, I think it's perfect because of the fuel range, because of the body position, because of everything else that this bike has to offer. But there's only one thing that I don't like on this bike. One thing concerns me in terms of using this bike for overlanding, going, through remote countries where you don't have access to the mechanics and bike shops. The air intake is at the back. So the air box, it's easy to get to the air box. Actually, I'm going to show it to you. The air box is underneath the seat. So this is the air box. You just have to undo this screws and you get into the filter. But the problem with that I have, the intake is from the back. So your own wheel on the dusty roads pretty much create the dust, and which goes straight into your filter. So the filter has to be changed often. I mean, apparently on the dusty roads every 200 kilometers, which is really a problem if you riding through Africa or even the outback of Australia, and you're doing days and days and days on the dusty roads. So maybe there is a solution for it. I hope there is. Apparently you can modify it and put different filters. I'm not going to go there because I really don't know what's on the market at the moment, but this is the only thing that concerns me on this bike. And now let's talk about my accessories. In terms of wheels, we have 21 inch at the front, 18 at the back, perfect setup for this size of bike. I travel with Bridgestone Adventurecross tires for years and years. For me, these are the best tires for the type of riding I'm doing. So on-road, off-road, touring, long distance, it gives you quite good range. Well, depending on the terrain, of course, but they are soft compound tires, so they have fantastic grip off-road, and they really handle very well on paved roads as well, especially when it's wet. They're very safe because they're soft. So, in terms of luggage, I travel with Lone Rider Motobags, and I've been using this brand for many years. I have them also on my Round the World BMW bike. I just love the comfort, and I just love their design because they like aluminium panniers, but they are semi-rigid, so they do flex during the crash, so they're much safer than aluminium panniers, but they still give you the the space, and everything can be organized in them. So yeah, for me, Lone Rider for long distance traveling is the way to go. Cut! Right. Another adds-on is the Outback Motortek engine guards and skid plate. They will protect your engine in this situation. They will also protect your fuel tank. On the hard crashes, they can save your bike from being written off, and they did. On my previous bike, yes, they saved me so many times, and I think this is the best brand out there for adventure bikes. They steel, they solid. Sure, maybe not as light as aluminium engine guards, but aluminium engine guards, I'm sorry, but I just don't believe they can protect your bike fully in certain situations. So yeah, this is the Outback Motortek engine guards and a skid plate. I also have the back rack from Outback Motortek, very solid plate. You have a lot of holes here. You see, like I'm attaching my rock straps, and you can attach anything here. It's nice and wide, and you can really load it. I'm very happy with that one. The third extra that I put on this bike for this trip is the quad lock, a phone holder. Best Aussie invention ever. So I travel with my quad lock no matter on which bike I am. I always travel with my quad lock. Super easy design, and I'm sure a lot of you know quad lock, so I don't need to bang on about it how good it is, because actually, you know, this particular one, this one I've been using since 2017 when the quad lock sent me his very first product to Kazakhstan, so I'm still with the same quad lock. And last but not least, I got a lot of questions from you guys in regards to what's the difference between this bike and my round the world bike, Chile. And if you guys don't know who Chile is, so Chile is 800 GS from 2015. And you know, it's so hard for me to compare these two bikes, because it's like comparing old Mercedes-Benz to brand new Porsche, and that's how big the difference is. So this is modern, amazing performance bike, and my 800 is like this little donkey, you know, who just carries me through the world overloaded. I've been riding with Chile around the world for 5 years, and I'm not planning to change her anytime soon. I will test her until she can't ride with me anymore. So and there's a special attachment with her. It's just, you know, two of us since the beginning, so there's no way I'll be changing a bike, although I'm very pleased that I had this opportunity to test Norden, because yes, you probably will be definitely my second favorite out there. But like I said, I am not changing Chile. Chile will still be with me until we can ride together. She's reliable, and we've just been through a lot together, so we have this special bond. Maybe she's not the fastest, she's not, you know, newest, but she's still not my number one. But I'm gonna miss you, Nordern, too. You're a good bike. The sun came out. I reckon it's time to go for a ride finally. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little video I prepared for you. And what's next? Well, I'm about to catch a plane to Canada, so we'll start riding the Americas. That will probably take me, you know, a few years, so stay tuned for my adventures to come, and I might see you on the road. If not, I'll see you on YouTube. Yes, so this is the end of my video. So I hope you. So see you on the road somewhere, or on